KCAV, television broadcasting. Bringing BPCC to you.
From the studios at Bossier Parish Community College, this is BPCC News.
Hi, I'm Caleb Moore.
And I'm Miranda Mahmood. Thanks for tuning in to BPCC News. The election is held each fall to select a homecoming court to be presented at the homecoming basketball game, which is held during the spring semester. The court consists of a king and queen, 3 sophomore maids, and 3 freshman maids. The sophomore candidate receiving the highest number of votes serves as the queen. All homecoming court members are expected to participate in all homecoming activities. The nomination deadline is today by 4:30 p.m.
The BPCC Intramurals program sponsors an open rec time on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 12 p.m. to 12:45 in the BPCC gym for students, faculty, and staff to shoot hoops, play ping pong, and much more. A valid BPCC student ID and proper athletic attire is required for students to participate. For more information, you can contact Ashley Grissom at agrissom@bpcc.edu.
The Student Exam Center, located in Building E, Room 121, is open Monday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
The Foreign Language Lab is open in Building G, Room 206, for students to utilize the computers and headphones to study French or Spanish. Printing of foreign language assignments is also available. The lab hours are Monday and Wednesday 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. and Tuesday and Thursday 2:30 to 3:30 p.m.
Student Government Association meetings are held on Tuesdays at 3:30 p.m. in Building F, Room 220, and are open to all currently enrolled BPCC students. SGA members are required to attend.
There's a lot of different opinions going on in this year's election, so we went around campus and asked some students which candidate they think is best.
Hi, I'm Nina Murray with BPCC News. There are a lot of views on this upcoming presidential election. Let's check in with some of the fellow students to see what they think.
I'm voting for Donald Trump because, number one, we don't need a woman running the country, all right?
I'm voting for Gary Johnson.
I'm going to vote for Hillary Clinton.
Nobody's really, what they're talking about doesn't really matter. Like, they're always talking about something irrelevant. It's not like anything that really I care about, like pollution or anything like that. They're just like arguing at each other.
Hillary Clinton. I just feel like she's the better out of the two. Donald Trump, he I don't know, he discriminates too much, you know what I'm saying? And I don't like that.
I think that it's important to vote because you also have your say in what's going on in the country. That's why we are run the way that we are, is because we are run by the people's vote. And if you don't vote, then what you want to happen doesn't actually happen.
It's important to vote. I mean, the world depends on it, I guess, you know?
Because you have to be a part of the state. That's what you have to do. Because it was a lot of people that fought for us, and I feel like we should honor them and vote.
Those are some opinions here on campus about the upcoming election. Make sure you go out and vote on November 8th. I'm Nina Murray reporting with BPCC News. Back to the news desk.
Looks like it's going to be a comfortable weekend ahead.
After the break, we'll check in with Carl Pearson for this weekend's forecast.
I teach a wide variety of things, including film editing, directing, documentary making, lighting. I fell in love with art as a young child, and it's just always something that has stuck with me.
I love the whole process of going on set, going back into the editing room, telling a story. That's what I really love about film.
I got laid off from my job, and I figured this was the perfect opportunity to go to school to get a degree for it.
As a kid, I was really into geeky stuff. I couldn't think of anything else that I would rather do.
They really provide you with the equipment and the necessary tools in order to advance in a career, especially in communications field.
Well, one thing that really drew me to video production especially is it's just a way to reach people. And as someone who likes to communicate with other people, I felt that mass communication, especially broadcasting, was a tool that I could use.
You get some hands-on experience. They've got good stuff to work with. They really know what they're doing, and they're willing to pass it on.
When our students leave Bossier Parish Community College, they are equipped to get a job immediately, or they can move on to a 4-year degree.
Thanks.
You believe this guy?
Are you trying to start a wildfire?
Sorry. Pass the honey?
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hi, welcome to BPCC Weather. My name is Carl Pearson, and let's take a look at our current temperatures in the region. So we've got 77 in Marshall, 77 in Natchitoches, we've got 79 up in Texarkana. Then out here in the east, we've got 81 in Ruston, 80 in Natchitoches, 79 in Minden, and of course here at home, we're also sitting at 79. Now that we take a look at our current temperatures, let's take a look at the forecast for the next 5 days. All right, the National Weather Service says there's absolutely no chance of rain for the next 5 days, but let's take a look at some of these temperatures. On Friday, today, we've got a high of 85 and a low of 58. On Saturday, we've got a high of 86 and a low of 60. On Sunday, we've got a high of 86 and a low of 61. Now on Halloween, looks like perfect Halloween weather. We've got a high of 84 and a low of 59. And on Tuesday, we've got a high of 82 and a low of 62. All right, that's all we've got today for weather. Now back to the news desk.
The Office of Student Life and the BPCC Student Government Association sponsors an annual talent show that is open to all currently enrolled BPCC students. Contestants are judged on overall performance, audience response, stage appearance, originality, and personality. First through fifth place will be awarded with cash prizes from $100 to $500. The show will be held on October 29th at 6 p.m. in the BPCC Theater in Building C. Every week, the Bossier City Animal Control holds a pet adoption.
Celeste Brewer has more with this week's featured pet, Danny.
Welcome to another episode of Adopt a Pet. I'm Celeste Brewer. I'm here at the Bossier Parish Animal Control Center, and today we have Danny. Danny is a female. She is about 8 months old. She was a stray. She's already spayed and neutered, and she does not come with a voucher because she already has her rabies shot. Danny would go great to a family with high energy. She has a lot of energy. If you would like to come check out Danny or any of the other animals, come out here to the Bossier City Animal Control off of Old Shed Road in Bossier City and check out Danny.
The Shreveport Baptist Collegiate Ministry, also known as the BCM, sponsors a weekly college worship event called Refuel on Thursday nights at 7:30 p.m. at the BCM Center. The center is located at One University Place on the East King side of the LSUS campus. All students are welcome to attend.
Baptist Collegiate Ministry Bible Studies meetings are held on Tuesdays at 12:15 p.m. in Building F, Room 220, and are open to all currently enrolled students.
The Writing Lab is open today in Building G, Room 219, for students of all disciplines. Faculty tutors are available by appointment, and a computer lab is open to all students with a writing assignment. Printing is also available. Lab hours are Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Friday hours are 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Students can use Canvas to see available appointment times and schedule their own tutoring sessions. Update on the World Series and local high school football is wrapping up.
After the break, we'll check in with Greg Johnson for the latest in sports.
On any given night, roughly 50,000 veterans won't have a home to go to or a bed to sleep in. Hi, I'm Jack Black. The men and women who volunteer to serve in our armed forces put their lives on the line to protect us. When they return to civilian life, Many of them struggle to support their families. And too many of them come up empty when they look for a job, often ending up on the street. The truth is, this just shouldn't happen. As soldiers, they've received an education far beyond their military training. They learn skills in areas like technology, engineering, and communications. And they embraced character values like leadership and integrity. Those are values that make them an asset to any business that hires them. So if you're a business employer, the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes urges you to hire smart and bet on a vet. It's also a great way to thank them for their service. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE or visit saluteheroes.org. Thank you.
Millions of America's kids are in crisis. Who better to help than one who has walked in their shoes and found a great future at the Boys and Girls Club?
It takes a village to raise a child, and for me, the village was that Boys and Girls Club.
The Boys and Girls Club taught me that I could believe in myself and that all my dreams are limitless.
It takes just one person to make a difference. If you are a Boys and Girls Club kid, join us.
It's incumbent upon all alumni to give back to today's youths.
There's so many young people that are in our communities that think no one cares about them, but we really do.
If not alumni, then who?
If we all get together, we definitely can make a difference in someone's life.
Be a member for life. Join the Alumni and Friends Club today. Impact a kid's life forever. Join at bgcalum.org.
Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in for BPCC Sports. I'm Greg Johnson. BPCC men's and women's basketball team will tip off the season on November 1st. They will be taking on Baton Rouge Community College. Women's will be the first game at 5:30 p.m. and men's will be the start their game at 7:30 p.m. Well, in major baseball news, with the World Series tied at 1 apiece, the Indians and the Cubs have something extra to play for in Game 3. The game will start tonight at 8 p.m. in Wrigley Field in Chicago on Fox. Well, in the high school football news, with only 2 games left of the season, some teams are trying to make a push into the postseason. So here's some games to go out to see tonight. Lakeside versus Calvary, Captain Street versus Loyola, De'Arm Brown Woods versus Plain Dealing, Southwood versus Parkway, North County versus Red River, Washington versus Mansfield, North DeSoto versus Minden, Huntington versus Bolger, Airline versus Byrd, Ringo versus Homer, Halton versus Evangel, and Benton versus Northwood. Good games, man. Good games. Once again, guys, I'm Greg Johnson from BPCC Sports. I hope you have a blessed weekend. Till next time, back to the news desk.
The Student Life Office is thrilled to bring to campus a mobile escape room, Patient Zero, available to the college market exclusively through Neon Entertainment. A room inside of the Student Life Office will be turned into a genetic engineering lab, and teams of 10 students per session will have 60 minutes to find an antidote to avert a zombie apocalypse and to save all of humanity. If you're up to the challenge of saving the world, come by Building F, Room 220 on Monday, October 31st between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m.
Necro Manor Haunted House is now open for the 2016 season. Come on out and face your fears tonight with creatures lurking in the darkness of the asylum. Necro Manor is located across from the CenturyLink Center. Hours are 7 to 12 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, with hours of 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. on select Sundays and Thursdays, and a blackout night from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. Halloween night. You can purchase tickets at the door or online at necromanor.com.
Well, let's go ahead and check in with Nathaniel Bollier for Today in History.
No Today in History?
What?
Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to yet another installment of this segment of the show, Today in History. I'm your host, Nathaniel Bollier, here to bring you the scoop on some of the cool things that happened on this day in history, October the 28th. First up on this day in history, in 1636, Harvard College was founded in the Massachusetts Bay Colony. It was the first school of higher education in America, and it's also the most sought-after school in America today, mainly because of its rich history and exclusivity. Then on this day in history, in 1904, the St. Louis Police Department became the first in America to use fingerprinting. It quickly became the go-to form of identification required for inmates in facilities across the world. Also, in the same 1936, I have some news about the lady on the cover of our introduction graphic of Today in History, Lady Liberty. The Statue of Liberty was rededicated by President Roosevelt on its 50th anniversary. 50 years later, on this day in 1986, the statue celebrated its 100th anniversary. You know, she's a little up in age, but she still looks pretty good to me. Lastly, on this day in history, in 1994, President Bill Clinton visited Kuwait and implied that the troops would be home by Christmas. It's kind of sweet. All right, that's all I have for today's history. Now, how about we look at some celebrity birthdays? First up, let's wish a very happy birthday to the reality star and hero to many, Caitlyn Jenner, who turns 67 today. Let's also wish a very happy birthday to one of my favorite YouTube stars, Trey Melvin, who turns 29 today. Let's also wish a very happy birthday to TV actor Nolan Gold, who turns 18 today. All right, guys, that's all I have for today's history. I'm your host, Nathaniel Bollier, and let's take it right on back to the news desk.
She's got a ticket to ride.
Once again, we'd like to thank you all for tuning in to the BPCC News. I'm Caleb Moore.
And I'm Miranda Mahmood. Be sure to stay tuned for a taste of BPCC.